Hi, my name's Tony Wells, and for my student dialogue, I attended the Privilege Through the Clemson Lens dialogue. I thought it was a good 2-hour session. We did a lot of activities and different things about privilege. First, we talked about just the norms of dialogue and like what dialogue is and the rules for dialogue, just about like being respectful and those kinds of things. And then we got into our topic, which was privilege, and we just defined privilege and what it was and what everyone thought it was. And it was interesting hearing everyone's different definitions of privilege, because everyone kind of thought it was a different thing, and what privilege was and what made you privileged. The first kind of activity we did was we made a social identity wheel with different parts of the wheel you filled in with like different things about you. There were things like race, first language, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, and stuff like that. And then after everyone was finished filling those out, we got in pairs of 2 and like shared our wheels with someone else and like discussed what we put for each thing and what we thought made us privileged. And then after that, we got in the big group again, and everyone kind of shared their wheel, or whoever wanted to share theirs shared theirs, and then we kind of discussed what for each part what we thought was privilege. And it was interesting hearing everyone's different ideas on what made you privileged. Like for gender, some people thought being a female was more privileged, and others thought being a male was more privileged, and stuff like that. And then we did different activities on privilege, like we did an activity where we stood in a line, and then we took steps forward and steps back for different things, like if we were in state or if we were out of state or if we had to pay for college and things like that. And then at the end we saw where we stood in comparison with everyone else, which was kind of interesting to see where we stood in the way of privilege with everyone else. And then after that we kind of sat towards the end, this last half of the session, we kind of sat down with everyone and talked about privilege and what made us privileged. One of the most interesting things I thought was talking about in-state versus out-of-state, and what people thought privilege was in regard to that. And most people said that being in-state was more privileged because you're closer to home and it's cheaper, but I'm out-of-state, and a lot of the other out-of-state people thought that we were more privileged because it's more like, I feel that I'm really privileged to be able to go here when I live so far away. I just think that I thought that was interesting. I feel that my group achieved true dialogue. In the beginning, it was I didn't feel that we were, but then towards the end, we got more kind of like dynamic, and everyone was talking, and everyone was being respectful, and it was nice to hear like everyone's opinion on everything. So I thought that we achieve true dialogue in that way. And then there were definitely more active voices. Some talked more than others. Some people didn't even talk at all, which was kind of a disadvantage, but you can't make people talk. I definitely played an active role. I spoke several times, especially about the out-of-state thing. I had a lot to say about that. And then I wish other people, like the more quiet people, would have talked, because it would have been nice to hear their opinions about everything, but it is what it is. I feel that dialogue is a component of Library 100 because it allowed us to do several things that are important, especially as college freshmen. We were able to experience like guided discussion and guided dialogue with other college freshmen, so obviously we should have a lot in common with them. And then it was interesting to hear what everyone else had to say and like their opinions on a specific topic, and ours was privilege, obviously, and there were people that had completely different opinions on one topic when you thought there was just one definition of privilege, so that was kind of cool. And I definitely saw this as a useful tool in my university experience here, because it allowed me to experience true dialogue and hear everyone else's opinions and experiences on a specific topic. And overall, I really enjoyed this dialogue and the people in it. The conductors were really good. They definitely encourage people to talk and to give their opinion and tell their experiences on privilege. I feel like it has definitely helped my freshman experience here at Clemson.